this is June Mickens. Welcome to this Executive Advantage Straight Talk session on managing yourself and your time. If you're like many people, your life is out of control, or at least sometimes it feels as if it is. So be honest. What's the constant scrambling costing you? Peace, friends, jobs, money? Well, stick with me for the next few minutes for some tips on easing your time burden. Let me start by sharing the bottom line right up front. You will get more out of your time when you learn to get more out of your life. Okay, an explanation is in order. It's impossible for anyone to add more time to the day, but I bet you can name at least one person who seems to get much more out of his or her 24 hours than you get out of yours, right? So clearly, it is possible to be more productive because you see people doing it. But what's the secret? Well, it's the same advice I give Executive Advantage clients, and it's the bottom line I shared just a moment ago. You will get more out of your time when you learn how to get more out of your life. You see, if you want to make better use of your time, you've got to know what you want to get out of the precious time that you do have. You've got to step back and make conscious decisions about how you want to live your life. Getting more from your time requires a mindset shift. You've got to realize that there's a distinct difference between spending time and investing time. Spending means that you're using something up, exhausting it, or consuming it. So when you spend time, you're really not looking for a return. On the other hand, when you invest in something, yes, you put something out, but you do so with an expectation of a return or profit. Often we hear these terms used in connection with money, but think about them with respect to time. Many of us spend far more than we invest. We engage in a lot of activities, many of which have little or nothing to do with our life goals. In fact, often we don't even want to do the things we're doing. We're spending time on somebody else's agenda, or we're busting a sweat on things that seem urgent to somebody anyway, only to look back later and realize that those things weren't even important. And I bet at least some of you are nodding your heads right now, so I guess I'm hitting home. So how do you turn it around? How do you begin using your time more effectively, investing it rather than spending it? Let me give you 4 essential tips. First, you can't truly begin investing your time until you know your purpose. Once you define your purpose and understand your ultimate goals, then choices about how you're going to invest your time become easier. You're less likely to be all over the place doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and accomplishing a lot of nothing. You're better able to select activities that are consistent with the path that you've set for yourself. Tip 2, be intentional about using your time. If you're going to invest money, you wouldn't lay the newspaper in front of you, blindfold yourself, and then randomly make stock choices, would you? I sure hope you said no. Well, is your time any less valuable? If not, then why is it that you do the equivalent of a blindfolded stock picking with your calendar? Don't answer that one. So what does it mean to be intentional about your use of time? To borrow the title of an old Spike Lee movie, do the right thing. The point is, don't just be satisfied or comfortable being busy, even if you're doing things right. Make sure that what you're doing is the right thing to be doing. And the right things are those that further your passion, things that move you toward your purpose and your goals. Also, understand the importance of timing. If you're trying to use your time most effectively, it means not just doing the right things, but doing them at the right times. For instance, do you know the times of day when you have the most mental or physical energy? And are you building your schedule around those times? Or are you planning and timing projects or conversations or tasks when others are most likely to be receptive to them? Or are you just shooting from the hip, but in doing so, spending a lot of valuable time and energy in the process? So understand the importance of timing. Also, don't procrastinate. Procrastination is the habit of needlessly putting off things that should be done now. We've all done it, but procrastination is time wasting, not time investing. So, be alert to the tendency to procrastinate, and if you can do so without procrastinating, figure out what's causing your internal pushback. To fight the habit, try to do unpleasant things first and end with the things you like to do. Think of it as the adult version of eating your Brussels sprouts before your mashed potatoes. Also, break a dreaded job into manageable tasks so that it doesn't seem so insurmountable. And if it helps, give yourself a small treat, a short break, or some other little reward after completing key segments of the assignment. To successfully invest your time, nothing beats planning. Old-fashioned pencil and paper, newfangled electronic system, or some combination of the two, it really doesn't matter. The key is that if you don't plan your time, someone else will. And guess how much of what's important to you will be accomplished if that's the case. So develop a way that works for you to keep track of your assignments, appointments, and other time-sensitive activities. Also, expect interruptions. They're inevitable, so plan for them. If they don't happen on a given day, you've got found time. But if they do, then you're ready. Now let me warn you, actually planning for interruptions is just the first step. It's equally important to be discerning when interruptions come, whether they're visitors, telephone calls, those pesky email bubbles that pop up on your screen, or anything else. Some interruptions are necessary and need to be dealt with immediately, but many aren't. They can be delayed until a better time or avoided altogether. However, when you don't control your interruptions, that is, when you respond simply because somebody calls on you, you're giving others control over your time. And that might not be the wisest thing as you're trying to make the shift from spending to investing time. Tip 3 is don't go it alone. What we've been talking about is change. And though I've boiled it down to simple steps, the reality is that those steps, though simple, aren't necessarily easy. So don't let this become like the New Year's resolutions that don't make it past week 2, or the home workout equipment that becomes a high-priced clothes hanger. If you want to improve your likelihood of success, of seeing real change, get support. Choose someone who'll be frank with you. Someone who'll be there to help you understand and cheer your victories, and someone whom you've given permission to speak the truth when you're blowing it. But don't try to go it alone. Even with support, though, please know that you won't be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Actually, the only way to avoid mistakes is to do nothing, and that's probably the biggest mistake of them all. So when you blow it, you let somebody hijack your time with an unnecessary task, you fail to make that to-do list, or you make it but then you don't look at it all day, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge the mistake, share it with your support system, learn from it, and move on. Tomorrow's a new day. Remember, you will get more out of your time when you learn how to get more out of your life. I hope this Straight Talk session has been helpful for you. If you know someone else who could benefit, please share this video using one of the links below or any other tool you use. I also invite you to contact us. We're here to support you. At Executive Advantage, we partner with business owners, with leaders, and with professionals, and we're here to help you build thriving businesses and careers. Thank you so much for your time, and please join us again for another Straight Talk session.